because you've been very forthcoming. And since you shared your secret with me, I suppose it's only fair that I share a secret with you. So, I'm going to tell you the deal I made in order to obtain my destiny sight. You see, there's a problem with Forever Fortunate. And the problem is that destiny has so very many strings. Simply because you're fortunate doesn't mean you're going to get everything you want. Sure, things work out in your favor, but there are countless ways for things to work out in your favor. Simply because it's profitable or good for you doesn't mean it's actually what you wanted. You see, destiny is divided up evenly between negative and positive, obviously. And there are an equal number of both negative and positive possibilities for everything. Basically, Forever Fortunate simply eliminates all the negative possibilities, but it doesn't ensure any one positive possibility. It's still a gamble. It's just a gamble of which profit you're going to get, which good thing you're going to obtain. It doesn't mean that you're going to obtain the best thing. And this is why I obtained Destiny Sight. By combining Forever Fortunate and Destiny Sight, I can not only see the strings of fate, the things that I'm destined to interact with, and eliminate all the negative possibilities, avoiding them entirely. I can also very clearly see the things that favor me the absolute most, the things that bring my destiny to its absolute fullest, always choosing the absolute best option, because I can see the effect of Forever Fortunate, like an extra layer of gold light that shimmers over everything. Everything with a positive outcome, of course. The more brilliant the gold glow, the more positive the powerful outcome that is connected to. The glow of Destiny Sight itself also varies in its intensity and has different colors for different kinds of things. It all really depends on what it is. By combining Forever Fortunate and my Destiny Sight, I get to choose my destiny without ever actually knowing what it is. Now, you might ask, what did I trade to get the Destiny Sight? Alice said, slowly approaching me, getting ever and ever closer. What I traded, Alice said, looking me very closely in the eyes, still that ever so terrifying smile on her face, was love. I traded all of my love for everything. Every drop of love that I'm ever going to feel for basically anything. I can no longer feel love for anything at all, even my own parents. I mean, I know they're my parents. I remember a time when I did love them. I remember what it felt like. I simply don't experience it anymore. Even if I were to see them lowered into a pit of lava or acid, it really wouldn't bother me at all, because I simply don't have the capacity to love them anymore. To love anything, really. At this point, I think the expression on my face had to be terror. This entire escapade just went the worst possible way. I basically just killed myself. I was overcome with a sense of terror, frustration, everything that I had worked for, all the thought and effort that I had put into it, all wasted. This was how it was gonna end. Suddenly, I don't know what came over me, but for whatever reason, I started to laugh. I couldn't help myself. It just came rolling out. I laughed until I couldn't stand to laugh anymore. I laughed so hard my sides started to hurt. Backing away from Alice, gripping my sides, lost in that laughter. Even if only for a few moments, I stood back up with a smile on my face. I can't believe it, I said, smiling. I mean, really, the irony. I go through all the trouble of beating the devil, and this is how it ends. It's so tragic, it's almost comical. I suppose that's why I can't stop laughing, I said with a smile on my face. Why is completely beyond me. Alice looked surprised for a minute, breaking away from her calm smile, but she quickly returned to it. Oh, don't be so hasty, Reginald, Alice replied. You're not dead just yet, because there's a second part to that deal. The man in the pinstripe suit said it would be a little unfair to take all the love. So, he left me with two options for people that I could still love. Basically, he said it was just good business. He said because of my destiny site, it would probably be easy, that I could find it easily now. So, he'd let me keep just those two. Do you want to know what they are, Reginald? I smiled, wiping a little tear from my eye. From the laughter, of course. Yeah, sure, I replied. Well, the man in the pinstripe suit let me keep the ability to love the one person in the whole universe that I was meant to be with. My soulmate, you might call him. And the ability to love, of course, my future children. He said that should be enough to tide me over. Taking all of it might be unprofitable. That's actually why I was interested in getting to know you, Reginald. You see, on the day that my mother first decided to go to your estate, I wasn't really expecting much, but when they opened the door and I saw you there standing beside your mother, for whatever reason, I was compelled to use my destiny sight. Do you know what I saw, Reginald? Alice asked me, grinning chagriningly. I looked at her blankly, not really sure of what to reply to that. I saw your light, Reginald. You should have seen it. Those three little lights in your chest hardly hold a candle to it. It was like looking into the sun. You had an aura of gold and red light that beamed out in every direction, encompassing everything. From that moment, I decided right then and there I had to get to know who you were. That's why I started asking my mom to take me over there. And slowly but surely, as I started spending time with you, it became more and more obvious. You know, feelings are always these unclear, sort of foggy things. You experience them all the time for people all over the place. It's only when you don't experience them that when you finally do, it seems to pop out at you pretty clearly. And the more time I spent with you, the clearer it became that you became the only person I really cared about. I started worrying about how you were doing, where you were, how you were feeling today. And the truth is, that just doesn't happen when you can't feel love. You see, love is kind of like the glue that holds all your other emotions together about somebody. If you don't really love them, then you can't really be concerned about what's happening to them. You don't really feel anything, any sort of way about it. But I'm still able to feel those things about you, Reginald. So, have you figured it out yet? She said, grinning, leaning over to the right a little bit, putting her hands behind her back as she grinned. That means it has to be you, Reginald. You're the person that I'm destined to be with in the end. Do you understand? So, you can forget any of those silly ideas about me telling people your secret and getting you killed. I wouldn't dream of it. There's just no way I'd ever kill the only person in the world that I actually care about. I'm pretty sure at this point, the look on my face was pure astonishment. Of all the guesses I could have possibly had about how this was going to go, this wasn't even close. Me and Alice? We're destined to be together? I mean, I liked Alice. Despite everything, for whatever reason, I was compelled to trust her. But destined to be together? For a moment, I actually stopped to contemplate whether this is some sort of trick or an agenda. Is she playing me? And if so, why would she? Things just got complicated.